some news from Lift Capital, and he's been giving us some shout outs lately, which is really cool. Do appreciate him. He has great coverage in regards to the ISOs, XRP, XLM, XDC, right? Cypherium. So here's our particular coverage in regards to Cypherium. Again, shout out to LC Lift Capital. Ted from there and so on. He says, we support Sky's vision of Cypherium becoming a global reserve currency. Sky is in the CEO of Cypherium. So if you've been waiting for the Cypherium news update, here you go. And again, shout out to Lift Capital, doing it big with the continuous coverage. Really great content creator. I follow him. I know a lot of you guys do and so on. So again, a shout out, respect right back to him. Very nice for him to give us a shout out, and we appreciate that. We will try to, get with him and do a collab like he's mentioned. I think that'd be very, very cool. But yeah, I'm gonna blow this up, and it states, thank you for covering CPH, as in Cypherium. You are the best. Would love to see you mentioning Cypherium's vision to become global reserve currency, meaning coin number one. USD losing power and FedNow and CBDC launch are all happening at the same time, not a coincidence. Now, we also have to keep in mind, we mentioned this numerous times, right? Especially lately, this whole thing with NDAs, right? So like he's only allowed to mention so much and so on, but come on. I mean, the pictures are going over to, the BIS, right? Bank of International Settlements. Some of his pictures, literally like taking a picture of the sign, his particular meetups, the FedNow payment service officially recognizing their particular mainnet from Cypherium. Again, I mean, people have to understand, everybody wants, a particular company or organization to officially post something, whether straight from their Twitter or whatever, outlet it is, saying something officially like, I want to see it in writing. Okay, we get that, right? But you also got to keep in mind, again, NDAs and so on, connect the dots. And when you do, you'll come to the conclusion that there's something real solid here, something to be said about Cypherium. This is why I've made Cypherium is now part of my top 3 of ones I don't own. There's a difference between cars, what I have and what I don't. And so I'm going to blow this up. And it states, this of course posted by Sky from, Cypherium CEO, this one right here. It says Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell just stated that it is possible to have more than one reserve currency. That's huge. And of course, we understand why that's so huge on that particular statement because of the Cypherium connection. Again, the whole thing with FedNow, right? And of course, yesterday, I believe we covered this whole thing with FedNow with another particular lady from the Fed. But yeah, like it says on the bottom right there, not a coincidence, right? So we get a little more further into this. Again, another quote from Sky. It says, once CBDCs are deployed on Cypherium, and again, this is not like it was super long ago, like many years ago or anything. It says, once CBDCs are deployed on Cypherium, central banks will need to own Cypherium to carry out transactions, making Cypherium the de facto global reserve currency. Sean CryptoSmith outlined this very, very well. He felt as though it's not a matter of, Ripple moving all the money, but some of these other players are, this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the other players. Not financial advice, but I could also connect the dots. Right. So, and if anything, that makes CPH all that much more significant because you can understand that's where you have the coin's utility, right? That's the main thing. We're always talking about, which token, which coins have that utility. Boom. There you go. A little bit more in regards to this. It says Bitcoin can be taxed with controlling of 51% hash power, making it unsuitable for central bank reserves. And I want to state this. I did do more of my own research in regards to this. The first Cypherium video I did, which is in the recorded, might be the only one actually. But in that particular one, I outline some of these key things, right? So here's the thing, right? It says making it unsuitable for central bank reserves. There was this thing about Solana, and you guys have followed this in the past, where, Solana had all this impressive stuff going on. And then when it got too big of a workload, apparently, and whatnot, the thing would go down. I like the idea, and again, you can look more into it if you done more your own research. Cypherium kind of has like a backup plan for these oh crap moments. That's a good thing. You want to have a blockchain that's going to be, online 24/7, not pulling a Solana. I remember Larry used to point that out quite a few times that he was impressed with Solana because of that. So it says Cypherium Cypher BFT guarantees, as a Byzantine fault tolerance, guarantees instant absolute finality and interoperability with CBDC, making CPH is more suitable than Bitcoin for such purpose. And again, let's face it, I mean, the banks aren't really mentioning, hey, we're going to do all our payment structures with Bitcoin because it's outdated technology. No, I'm not talking about BSV. I'm just talking about regular Bitcoin. One last thing before we get back into the comments. Sky, CEO of Cypherium, also states the one that bridges CBDCs around the world. And look what states from Whaleshark. What crypto should become the reserve currency of the world? Maybe this becomes part of that particular mix. So a lot of people, of course, feel as though it's Ripple, but could there be ones that, for instance, let's say Ripple's XRP ends up being the majority of it? The key takeaway here should be, could Cypherium be part of the particular mix? And if so, that in itself is worth something. And we've seen recent price action. Some of you guys have seen, like, what is it, like at least a 2 or 3x in this in regards to recent price action. At least a 2x that I know of. There's something to be said about Cypherium, and having here soon, I guess you could say, FedNow payment service, at least, possibly utilizing their particular utility. I mean, it's kind of like the saying goes. I mean, you have a showroom floor and there's this beautiful car and it just needs to be driven off the showroom floor. It's there. Somebody just needs to hop in it and take it away. Kind of look at Cypherium in that weird analogy.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have not yet subscribed, do yourself a favor and subscribe for more information on the ISO 222 compliant tokens, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are aware of the new videos when they come up. Max and I cover these ISOs, and we also have a live show every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in for that. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next video.